I'm feeling good today. I don't gamble, but we need about $1.5 million for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy.
Once you start watching a few of Dr. Umar Johnson's videos, they tend to pop up in your feed when you log into YouTube. Every time they do, I can't help but to wonder, what's up with the school? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like a kid in the backseat of a car on a long ride. Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Renovation. We need about $1.5 million for the Garvey building. We need $1.5 million for the Garvey building. We need $2 million overall. So we're gonna play and we're gonna hit today.
All right, y'all, Dr. Umar Johnson, wasting your money at the slot machine. Check it out.
We're gonna play and we're gonna hit today, family. Let me show you what we're about to do. Let me show you what we're about to do, family. We're about to get us some money for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy.
Dr. Umar Johnson is spending the donation money before he gets on the plane to leave Vegas.
We about to get some money. I need that 1.2 right there. Y'all see that? That's what we need.
Hey, don't worry. He's not spending that donation money on these slot machines. That ain't what you're seeing here.
I'm not doing too good. I lost $20 in 1 minute, y'all.
All right, so before he went to the slot machines, Dr. Umar gave a lecture in Las Vegas.
But if you are a public nuisance to the mission, I'm going to have to enter your name in the Book of Negroes. And y'all know what the Book of Negroes is. That's a book that has all my haters in it. Every last one you can think of, all the YouTubians.
You know, people like me ain't gonna be allowed in his school.
And y'all know what the Book of Negroes is. That's a book that has all my haters in it. Because even if you disagreed, you could have kept your mouth shut. The American white power structure cannot let the black boy compete equitably with the white one. It's about preserving white privilege. And because the miseducation of our children is about preserving white privilege, the schools have to fail. The white woman plays a very important role in the destruction of black male masculinity because her job is to psychologically disarm the victim. The white woman's job is to psychologically disarm the black male child, to make him think she's an ally. They use her to do the same thing with adult black males. Charles Barkley's wife and Jalen Rose's wife and all these other ones. To psychologically disarm you and also economically neutralize you. Because a black millionaire with a white woman will never use those dollars for revolutionary purposes. The white woman is brilliant in her ability to make black males think she empathizes with you. That's her job. And the white male does the same thing with the black female. The private school industry was a result of school desegregation. And then what you do is you go chase the white folks out to the suburbs and pay $15,000 a year for your child to become a master of Christopher Columbus, Helen Keller, and Anne Frank. And then when your son wants a white girl for the prom or your daughter wants blue contacts permanently, you call up Dr. Umar, what's wrong with my child? You, because you stuck them in a self-hate incubator. You stuck your child in a self-hate incubator for 12 years, 6 years, 4 years, and wonder why they came out wanting to be white. Because the purpose of education is to deify European culture and thought. The purpose of education is to deify European culture and thought. They don't teach our kids how to think. They teach them how to worship white people.
As an educator, I feel like Dr. Umar did us a disservice by not mentioning the fact that, you know, these educational systems get their criteria and the information that they're going to be distributing handed down to them by, you know, the administration or administrators or the school board or these entities which decide and determine the information that's going to be taught to our kids. And for him to be hammering, white teachers, white women teachers as the enemy, as opposed to those who implement the material, which makes him think that, white people are being deified, is just a disservice. And, it's things like that where you got to catch yourself while you're listening to him, because Dr. Umar will say some things that'll get you on his side simply because you hadn't thought about him to the degree that he's, impressioning you. And when you do, if you don't take a step back and get another perspective, you can be easily swayed to a radical perspective. So that's something you might want to take in consideration when listening to Dr. Umar.
You know why we love to vote? It requires no sacrifice of time or money. You know why you like to pray? It requires no sacrifice of time or money. You know why you like to march or protest? It requires almost no sacrifice of time and no sacrifice of money. Negroes think you're fighting to be free as long as you don't use no money.
Dr. Umar eloquently called black people lazy, mentally, spiritually, emotionally lazy. He said they won't put the energy to do anything useful for their community. So I don't know if that's lazy or if that's, an isolationist attitude. I'm not sure what I'd call that.
And I'm here to tell you that until you organize your dollars for liberation, there will never be no black power. See, Chinese power is founded on the Chinese dollar. Jewish power is founded on the Jewish dollar. Italian, East Indian, Arab, their power is founded on the foundation of their dollar. We want black power without an organized black dollar. You'll never get that.
Every culture has a currency, so to speak, and it tends to represent their value or worth or labor, how their quantification of energy, so to speak. And black folks here in America, in his mind, don't have any. I guess that's as true as you believe that there's this separation between black Americans and white Americans. The founders are on the money. That's because, when they started these systems, they were running them. I think that's about all that means. Should we have MLK on a bill? Maybe. But I don't think black folks have cared enough about that. I think as long as the money goes in your pocket, it don't matter who's on that line. But that's just me. But anyway.
Why is Joe Biden ignoring black folks? Because Joe Biden can ignore black folks because you're the only people in America who vote just because you have a right to do it. You're the only people in America who vote because the Negro bourgeoisie tells you to. You're the only people in America who vote without first getting some campaign pledges before you cast that vote. Jesus Christ was born in a cave in Ethiopia. Jesus Cracker was born in a manger in Bethlehem. Jesus Christ was blue, black, purple. Jesus Cracker was a white man with blue eyes. Jesus Christ was hung on a tree. Jesus Cracker was hung on a cross. Jesus Christ was the Ethiopian revolutionary. Jesus Cracker was a metrosexual white man. There's a difference. That image of the Christ is still in the black home today. When I go to homes and do therapy, I still see white Jesus. 400 years later, he's still on your wall. And see, black man, I understand the white woman got a natural attraction to you. Because the first law of human nature is self-preservation. So the reason why the white woman loves the tall, dark, and handsome is because her DNA calls out for a life shot. She wants to procreate herself because she understands genetically the fact that she lacks the melanin can cause a reduction in white reproduction. So her unconscious calls out to the black man's melanin to please help me survive. The white woman's attraction for the black man is an unconscious genetic love and quest for survival. So I know why the white woman is attracted to me. Because the white male does not guarantee her survival because he's just as recessive as she is.
Dr. Umar does interesting things. All right, we all kind of know that white women tend to have more complications having babies than people of color. This is a current trend that's on the rise. We get it. I don't know if I would jump out there and say that white women are sleeping with black men because subconsciously they don't think that they're going to be able to reproduce their species with their white male. That's a stretch. What if she just thought that, the brother looked good, or he had good bed game, or maybe he was fun to be around and he was funny as shit and she fell in love with him, or infatuation and lust and passionate nights led to that's more believable. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, so most of this lecture is about parenting and the educational system and how to dodge potential problems and things that'll get you separated from your kid by the government. Okay, dude, if you're disappointed by how little reading material they have, well, why don't you write a kid's book? Why don't you write books to help people with learning disabilities better be able to read? Things of that sort. Why not, write these books to help these kids instead of, writing books for their parents who ain't gonna read the shit, who ain't gonna gather their information. None of this stuff is just, it's hard to believe that you're trying to make a change. It's easy to believe you're trying to sell some books, collect some money, and start a revolution, which you ain't gonna fight.
Yeah, we got a $300,000 tax bill that the white folks threw on us, hoping we can't pay it. But that's all right. I got to talk to them next week, and we're going to do a payment plan. We come too far to quit now. See, black people need a victory. In the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey Academy, it ain't everything, but it's something. And I need you to be able to walk into a space that you own, that you built, with no white help and no white handout, and say we did this ourselves.
I have a dream. I believe all these things that aren't gonna happen.
So we got some more work to do, but I'm feeling better now than I felt in the 2 years since we bought the school. But here's what I want everybody to know. I believe we're gonna cross the finish line this summer, but even if we don't, I like where we at. Everybody got criticism, but what are you building? All I see people building is more YouTube pages and more Instagram pages and more TikTok pages and Clubhouse.
He went on Breakfast Club a few weeks ago, saying he was 3 weeks away from opening the school. He just needed about $1 million. 3 weeks later, after he himself said he collected a bunch of money from donations after being on Breakfast Club, now he's 1.2 million away from finishing one of the schools, but he needs 2 million for the other school. Shit, can y'all cash app me while we're at it? If y'all gonna cash app him, I mean, I